Hi guys, in video 3 I'm going to talk about the first half of making a graph on Google Sheets. Google Sheets calls it a chart, so chart, graph, same thing. I put some random data in, just some made up stuff to use for this example. So if you have your cursor or any box selected for your data and you go to Insert, Chart, 8 times out of 10 it will insert your data correctly. As some of you guys found out in the quick access, there was that same little bar graph symbol over here, and you could use that to insert a chart as well. So as you can see, it inserted some data already on my graph, and we can analyze how it put that in. Okay? You need to know how it put it in case those 1 to 2 times out of 10 that it does not put it in correctly. You need to know how to fix it. Okay. And you may ask, Ms. Peterson, I don't like graphing. What is the point of learning this? Well, learning how to use Google Sheets will help you learn how to learn things. Right? So playing around, figuring out how to do these things helps you find features that you may not have known about in Google Docs or you may not have known about in PowerPoint. Or if you later on have to use like Microsoft Excel or another system I used was Logger Pro. Things I learned from those other graphing systems help me figure out how to use Google Sheets. So even though you may not like this system specifically, learning how to use this will help you learn how to use other ones. Okay? So I have the chart editor off to the side open because my graph is selected here. Okay. The chart type it did was a scatter. So again, you can change these. These are the ones it's suggested. So I'm going to change it to a line. You can scroll down and see the other options that they have for ones you can use. So I'm going to make it a line graph. The data range here shows the boxes that are included for our data range. So it's using A1 to B10. Okay, A1 all the way through B10. Now, it is using these boxes down here. It's using A11, A12, A13, but since there's nothing in those boxes, it's not showing up on the graph. I can add to these rows, and you will see as I make changes in the table here, it makes changes on my graph, which is one of the cool things about the system. You don't have to go back and erase things or extend the thing over. As soon as you make the changes to the data on the table, it will make the changes on the graph. Okay. If you ever click outside of your graph and you need to get back to the chart editor, you can either double click on your graph and it will open up the chart editor off to the side. Or if you go to these 3 dots, click in it once and go to the 3 dots, you can click edit chart and it will pop up. You can also delete, download, and other things. Okay. So in my setup, as I said, the data ranges, I don't ever adjust what boxes are being used from this. I just kind of use it to see what's going on. If your data gets put in incorrectly, you can use the x-axis and the series to adjust. Okay, so I'm going to remove these. So if it ever puts your data in incorrectly and it's looking really weird, to remove a data range, so to remove a set of boxes, you go to the 3 dots and remove, and now my data table is empty. Okay, so if you clicked in a empty box, so if I put my cursor over in J1 and I went to insert, it would use whatever information is in J1 to go into the graph. And there's no information in J1, so it would be no data. If your box is blank, you can go and you can insert the data yourself. So the thing with this is you need to know what of your variables goes on the x-axis and what goes on the y-axis. So the x-axis, if you click on it, it offers this search, so you can search through sets of boxes that have already been used. Time was already used in this graph, so it offers this as a choice to insert for your x-axis. Okay, the other thing you can do is go over to select data range, and you can insert your data that way. In the next video, I'll talk about inserting your data.